To the BS podcast brought to you by SeatGeek. That's our presenting sponsor since 1983. Find the best tickets for sporting events, music, wrestling, opera, March Madness, you name it. What better way to grab bargain tickets for NHL and NBA teams that are already out of the running, like Larry Wilmore's Lakers?
Yes.
Great seats available on SeatGeek for the Lakers right now. I have SeatGeek on my phone. By far the easiest way to shop for the best tickets, thanks to their revolutionary grading system. Try it out. Download the SeatGeek app today or go right to SeatGeek.com. We are also brought to you by No Man's Land. That's the latest great book by #1 New York Times bestselling author David Baldacci. If you like intrigue, mystery, plenty of fast-paced killer thrills. Sounds like the country right now.
I know.
This is an absolute must-read. John Puller has long been haunted by his mother's disappearance, but the truth may destroy him in No Man's Land. The AP calls it action-packed, thought-provoking. Revenge or Redemption, No Man's Land, now available in trade, paperback, and look for The Fix, the new Memory Man novel by David Baldacci, coming in April. And finally, we're brought to you by the Ringer NFL Show. That's where you can find Mike Lombardi's new weekly podcast, GM Street, co-hosted by that dude right there, Tate Frazier, every Thursday during the NFL's offseason. Subscribe now wherever you get podcasts. And if you like the Sports Movie Hall of Fame, we put up another episode on this podcast feed, Blue Chips.
Nice.
You like Blue Chips?
Isn't Shaq in that?
Shaq's in it. Young Shaq.
Is Penny in that too?
Penny's in it.
Yeah, I remember Blue Chips.
Yeah. I said on the podcast, it's like Penny Hardaway's career. It starts out super promising.
I know.
Ultimately dissatisfying, but then underrated at the same time.
I think so, although I had an argument with somebody who was trying to tell me that he was just making Penny to be greater than he really was. And I was like, no, Penny was good.
He was first team All-NBA.
Yeah.
Led a team in the finals.
But didn't they put him in that top 50 at that time of all time?
That was a mistake.
That was a huge mistake.
That was a mistake.
See, I don't forget things like that.
Yeah. They might have to bump him and put Dominique Wilkins in there.
Crime if Dominique was not in
Dominique
there.
was not in there.
I can't even, God, I didn't remember that.
Greatest in-game dunker of all time.
Oh, human highlight film. Come on.
All right. Let's just start. Yeah. Let's do it. Play the music. Larry Wilmore is here, fresh off really an emotional Lakers-Clippers game last night.
Oh, my God.
The worm has turned in the Lakers-Clippers forever. Although it's not like the Clippers are lighting L.A. on fire either. It's just kind of a basketball sadness.
Yeah.
What was it like there?
It's ennui, you know. If you look at the definition of ennui, you'll see a picture of a halftime score at a Laker game where all the energy has been sapped out of you already. There's absolutely no hope. There's you don't stand once except to go to the bathroom now, you know, to cheer the team or whatever. The Lakers are down by 30 at halftime, Bill. What is that?
But isn't that ultimately a good thing? I mean, all they're about is getting the top, a second pick in the lottery, and you don't care about that stuff?
No. I mean, at this point, they're not going to change their fate that much, but I don't like the habit of losing. Yeah. I think any kind of habit you ingrain, anything you do a lot, makes you good at that, you know? And I don't like the Lakers getting good at losing.
It's been 4 years of it now.
Exactly.
They have a worse, I think it's worse or almost the same record as Philly the last 3 years. A team that
Thank you, Bill. I'm glad that you know these little tidbits of Laker trivia
was like,
when it comes to their losing. Right?
But it's worked. They had the second pick 2 years in a row, and they're going to probably.
How many years have the Clippers had great picks in the draft? How many years, Bill?
Right.
Have they ever even been to the Western Conference Finals?
But the difference,
the Western Conference Finals, never.
The difference is the Clippers had one of the greatest players of all time running the team who didn't know what he was doing.
Who, Elgin Baylor?
And Elgin Baylor. Mm-hmm. You have one of the greatest players of all time running your team. Oh, wait, he might not know what he's doing either. Forget that.
Wait, who are you talking about, Magic? Magic hasn't even started yet.
Oh, he started recently.
You slamming him already?
He's going to bed. I'm not slamming him. I just don't know if he's going to be good.
Why would you not know that?
He's been going to baseball games the last 4 years.
And what happened to the Dodgers?
Handle the salary cap?
Wait, you don't even try to slam Magic. You know Magic and Bird.
No, I think
Magic and Bird are still, to me, the brightest basketball minds ever. Those two themselves. Look, Magic wasn't a great coach, but neither was Jerry West. But then Jerry West moved into the general manager's office. Boom.
I think
Golden
Magic
Lakers
is going to be
era.
the way they're using Magic is the right way. He's going to be front facing, kind of the good karma guy, free agent meetings, but he's not going to do the daily nitty gritty stuff.
You got Rob Pelinka there, but also keep in mind, Magic and Jeannie are like they're simpatico. You know, they're like brother and sister.
They're having sex?
No, simpatico.
Oh, simpatico. I'm sorry.
No, let's not open that door.
Yeah, Jesus.
But no, they're like brother and sister. You know, and I think their relationship really means a lot to that chemistry that the Lakers need, you know, just a front office that is really together and supporting the team to go forward. So
I'm so shocked that Jeannie Buss never found like the husband who just wanted to latch on, but also kind of like secretly run the Lakers.
Wow.
She went down the road with Phil Jackson, and it was just not a great road. He never wanted to get married.
Yeah.
And she spent like, I don't know, 15 years with him.
That's a long
But meanwhile,
time.
she could have been with, you know, this like some rich guy who's like a Jared Kushner for basketball.
And he sent a lot of signals, like trying to take her to Montana all the time. I mean, that's a signal.
Right.
Look, I really don't want to have a relationship.
Yeah. And I'm going to move to New York. I'm taking this job 3,000 miles away.
How can I make this clear?
So, I mean, that's what I guess the Laker fans should be happy that she never found somebody who decided, let me help you out with the Lakers.
I don't know if Jeannie Buss's relationship was.
She's the most powerful person on the team.
Yeah, but what is her? I don't know if her relationships have anything to do with how the Lakers are playing them.
It's the family has had everything to do with it lately.
Yeah.
She's got the brothers. Did you read the Jimmy Buss stuff?
No, I've never met them. I've never met the Buss family.
So there was this article about Jimmy Buss that he's like a big late night seedy casino slot machine guy.
Oh, like his dad.
Was his dad?
No, his dad was a poker player.
His dad was a poker player.
But he spent a lot of time in casinos.
Yeah,
with, as we shall say, ne'er-do-wells.
Right.
Right.
So I think that brother was in charge of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he had a good grip of the steering wheel, shall we say.
Well,
not great.
You're just bringing me down, though.
No, I think it's in better shape now.
I think so, too.
Magic is good karma.
Absolutely.
Comes in, good energy. He's going to practice with the players. Pelinka knows the league. Yes. He knows the agents.
I like that team right now. Magic and Pelinka, I think, are a good match.
I thought the stories I heard the last couple of years about them behind the scenes were pretty alarming. Some of them have come out. Like the LaMarcus Aldridge free agent courting process was apparently a disaster. Like he wanted to go there.
Yeah.
And his agents he was like, I want to be a Laker. I just want to be in LA. And then they had the meeting.
Right.
And it was like Kupchak, Jimmy Buss. They didn't really talk about anything. And then he would go to these other meetings and, you know, San Antonio was like, here's how we'd use you. Here are the shots you'd get.
Was Kobe still on the team when they had that meeting?
Yeah, that didn't help.
Well, see, that was a murky time too when Kobe was on the downslide and people were kind of just, you know, it's like you're waiting for that family member to die was almost what it felt like. It's like, well, they keep getting up for breakfast, so you know they're not dead yet. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Should we put the pillow over his head?
Yeah, it's like, trust me, next vacation when you come, they probably won't be here anymore. That's what it felt like when Kobe was there. It
was a good tanking strategy though, because it sold out tickets for that last year especially.
That wasn't a tanking strategy. That was a keeping Kobe happy strategy.
It turned out to be a tanking strategy.
Yeah, but it didn't
He was
help.
like the least efficient player in the league. He's taking 25 shots a game.
Yeah, but at least
Kraft's chaining Kobe's missing 28 footers.
It was terrible. It was terrible. But whatever. Hey, he still has 5 rings, so that's important.
So where do you stand on Kobe now that the dust is settled?
In terms of what? Overall?
Yeah. Are you glad he passed through your life? Yes.
Completely. Absolutely.
Did he stay on a couple of years too long?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you have wanted to be his teammate?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
You would have? Okay.
Absolutely.
So you just sort of run up and down, stood in the corner, and waited every once in a while you get to take a shot?
What Kobe are you talking about?
Any of the Kobes.
Are you saying this as a Celtic or as a true NBA person here?
I'm saying
I mean,
you
remember, okay, let's look at the early Kobes. All right?
Early Kobe.
Kobe was the assassin then. He was not what we call the ball hog. If you look at how many assists Kobe would get even.
You're talking about Shaq era Kobe.
Yes, Kobe had a lot more assists than people realize.
Kobe.
And also, people forget how great a defensive player Kobe was. All defensive team almost every single year.
Very good. I mean, it pays to butter up the press.
Those teams are great. Stop it. Those teams are great defensive teams. You know, Kobe doesn't get a lot of credit for that, but Kobe worked harder than anyone on those teams. Anyone. There was no one that worked harder than Kobe.
And that's what doomed him and Shaq, ultimately. It wasn't an ego thing.
Shaq wanted to rap and be a genie in movies.
He showed up out of shape, played himself into shape.
Yes, exactly.
And Kobe was this guy, all he wanted to do was play basketball, get in shape for basketball, think about basketball.
All Kobe wanted to do was be the second coming of Michael Jordan. He wanted to be better than Jordan. So that mission statement was good and bad. You know, a lot of the bad was all the isolation play that he did, you know, especially when his skills were gone, did not serve him well. But the good was the laser focus to just beat everybody, to be the killer.
So like 1999,
right?
What would you have put as the over/under for titles? Because I would have said like 7. It seemed like they were going to dominate the decade. That year when they got by Portland, they get over the hump.
Harris was the coach, right?
Well, but Phil shows up 99-2000.
Well, Phil showed up. They won a championship that year. Right.
So as that season's going on, before they get the Portland hiccup, they barely get by Portland, but then they blow out the Sixers in the finals.
Yeah, but you use terms like barely get by. You know, a win is a win. You know, 7-game series, you could say barely get by, but the winner is considered the winner.
That was the definition of barely get by.
No,
you were down 15 in the fourth quarter.
No, that was the definition of imposing your will. That's the definition of it. It's not barely getting by. Portland was looking around going, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
What just happened?
They stopped making shots.
Now, you could argue beating Sacramento on that Ori shot was barely getting by, but we imposed our will against Portland. Portland was damaged goods after that. They were done.
You did. You broke them.
They were damaged after that.
But they did have a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yes, until we imposed our will and took over.
That is one of my top 3 favorite games when the refs clearly were just completely in the bag for the Lakers. It's unbelievable. There's some calls in that game that are, if the internet happened now, Twitter, it'd be great.
Portland forgot who they were as a team. They just forgot. They started taking just some stupid shots. They went ice cold.
They did.
And the Lakers methodically came back. It wasn't all in a rush. It wasn't like that.
Brian shot a couple big threes, I remember.
Yeah, Brian Shaw and
Kobe made a couple big plays. Nice
couple big plays, but a lot of Kobe's shots were like 15, 17 footers. They weren't like crazy.
It was a great game and some awesome homer officiating.
And then that lob to Shaq was just the final goodbye.
My favorite Kobe hairdo too that year.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one was that. That
wasn't
the ball.
He grew it out a little in the back. No, he had it
that
up.
Was a good
because he's kind of a small head, so the hair kind of...
He has that peanut head.
Yeah. Right. The hair really helped him that year. And it was then in the finals, Shaq fouls out, Game 4 Indiana, up 2-1.
Yep.
Kobe takes over in the OT, makes some plays, wins the game. That's when I was like, wow, this guy really might be the next Jordan.
Completely.
But we were so desperate to find the next Jordan. I think now everyone realizes it's not happening.
I think the league was too desperate.
Grant Hill was in there. Jerry Stackhouse. Jerry Stackhouse might be the next Michael Jordan.
He was never going to be the next Jordan.
Yeah.
First, not with a name like Stackhouse, you can't ever be the next Jordan, you know. But
I hope he's not listening because he's, by all accounts, one of the scariest guys who's ever passed through the league. Like,
really? Jerry Stackhouse?
Throw fists, yeah.
Like even now?
Oh, yeah. Wow. I would have messed with Jerry Stackhouse when he's like 80.
Really?
There's a famous story. I
think is Latrell Sprewell still out there choking people? Like, is that type of thing?
Oh, he'd handle Latrell in like 5 seconds. There was a story one. I forget who the name was, but we did a story on this guy in Grantland. But he told Stackhouse to meet him after the game. And Stackhouse was like, okay.
Wow.
So he went in the locker room and he put on like a jogging suit so that because it would be the best way to fight. Met the guy outside.
Did he have a gun in it like that?
Google who this guy was. Google Jerry Stackhouse fight knockout.
When he beat Christian Laettner up, right?
Well, he did that too. Yeah. This is another guy. And put one punch knockout, went back in the locker room.
Kermit Washington action. There.
Yeah, went back in the locker room, put on his suit.
Really?
Left.
That's pretty efficient, actually.
Yeah, Jerry Stackhouse.
I kind of respect that.
You don't want to mess with him. Yeah, but so the Kobe, I think once we realized he wasn't going to be the next Jordan, but he became the first Kobe
Bryant.
Could
be the first Kobe, exactly. I got no problem with that.
7th or 8th best player of all time.
I ain't mad at that.
Would you have him or Jerry West?
Oh, come on. Jerry West is one of my all-time favorites. You can't.
It's
ask
a
me about
better
Jerry
argument
West.
than I think
grew up
Laker
with Jerry
fans
West.
realizes. I know.
No, Jerry West was dominant. He was always dominant. He and Elgin Baylor were so dominant during their era. You know, they just didn't have that complete team at the time like that.
Right, it was
Boston
those two
had.
every
It was
year.
a smaller league, all that kind of stuff. But people can't appreciate Jerry West right now. I mean, he would continually drop that 35, 40 points a game. Huge game. He was an offensive force during that time.
And it was a different league because if you like hurt your knee, you were never the same.
Yeah, he hurt his hamstring like in 1968.
Yeah.
And he was never the same.
Right.
You know.
So
and still had 4 good years after that. You know?
Well, that's the thing. That's what made Kobe's career special is it was basically, you know, after 07, before the Gasol trade, you know, it would have been, wow, that guy had a great career, but he wouldn't have been like an all-timer. But then he had this whole second prime from 08 to 12.
Yeah, well, Kobe's he's the Terminator.
Yeah.
And he's Terminator 2, actually, because he can heal himself instantly. It seems like the way Terminator 2 would regenerate his body.
Yeah.
That's Kobe. I mean, the stuff that he did, I still don't understand, like those mysterious trips to Germany and all that kind of stuff. You know, and he would...
Remember in the 09
and he played
playoffs?
in so much pain. Remember at one point, Kobe, I don't think he had any fingers left to like grasp
Chase
the ball.
Pierre-Paul.
I think he broke about every... Pierre-Paul, it's hilarious. I think he broke about every finger, and his ankles were messed up, and knee. And I thought he was even going to play after the Achilles. I thought he was going to play... He actually made 2 free throws when he snapped his Achilles. You know, he came back on the court. But I've never seen anybody play through injuries outside of Jack Youngblood, I think, playing on a broken leg. I think in a championship game. I mean, Kobe played through some ridiculous injuries.
That's a great pre-internet moment, Jack Youngblood and a broken leg.
I know, yeah.
I mean, like, it was really broken. Like, the guy in the Super Bowl, the guy in the Falcons had a broken tibia or something.
Ugh.
They taped it up and he was able to play.
Right.
Jack Youngblood had I think it was like broken in half.
Oh, it's crazy.
And they just kind of put the boards on each side of it or whatever the story is. Yeah.
You know, one thing it made me think of, I don't like this whole stopping a game in the NBA when somebody's bleeding. To me, everybody thinks that Magic is out there with AIDS or something, you know?
Right.
Like, because that's when they stopped it.
Because nobody understood how
but
you got AIDS in 92.
I mean, in hockey, people are bleeding in each other's mouths.
What about UFC?
You know? UFC, you're bleeding all over
blood.
the place. The whole audience, it's like a Gallagher concert. Psh, they're just getting splash of blood. Football, nobody gives a... Basketball, everybody goes crazy if there's a speck of blood and they stop the game. You see all these hermetically sealed, you know,
the
gloves
trainer
and everything.
comes out
it's
with
crazy.
like he's cleaning your
but what's up
kitchen.
with that? What are they thinking?
I don't know.
It's the only sport where that happens.
I don't know. What are your Laker fan friends? What do you guys talk about? What keeps you motivated?
What do we talk about? We cry together.
Okay. Because this is the worst
people
stretch
are
in the
looking
history of the
towards the
franchise.
future. Right now, everybody's looking at the draft, and I get that, and that's fine. I mean, at this point, it's over.
Do you understand the stakes with the draft? Do you fully understand
There's a lot of good
the
players
pick?
coming up. Oh,
but do you understand you might not get the pick?
Based on... You think the Lakers are going to be 4th?
Yeah, it's possible. It's like a 50% chance. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Well, Brooklyn is firmly in last place, right?
that goes to the Celtics.
Phoenix is how many games
So
behind
the Lakers have a 2-game lead over Phoenix.
2-game lead.
Yeah, the 12 to go.
This is like torture conversation. A 2-game lead
You have
over
a 2-game lead.
Who else? Okay, who's after Phoenix?
It's really you. You got to worry about Phoenix.
Yeah, but if we're 3rd, that doesn't matter. We don't lose our pick in 3rd. We lose in 4th.
Yeah, but they have the lottery. This is what I'm telling you.
No, but it doesn't matter. We're
If
still having to protect the
one
3rd
team,
pick.
if you're 3rd and one team jumped you, you'd slide down to 4th, and then
that's
you would have
true,
no
with the
pick.
lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if you're
whatever.
the 2nd spot and 2 teams jump you, you slide to 4th. You have no
Whatever.
pick.
Whatever.
And wait, it gets worse because I wrote about this last week in the Ringer.
Tell me, how does it get worse, Bill?
It gets worse. If you
Tell me all the ways it gets worse.
If you lose the pick this year, you
Right.
also lose your 2019 first-round pick to Orlando.
Nice.
But if you keep it, that pick turns into 2 second-rounders. So it's
Beautiful.
either 2 first-rounders or nothing on
Right.
that lottery day.
What is your
You should break out every good karma,
what is your
lucky
prediction?
charm thing.
What is your prediction?
If you get the 2nd pick, it's a coin flip. It's 50-50.
2nd pick, we still will only.
I'm saying if you're in the 2nd ping pong spot.
I understand. We could, at the most, we'll get bumped down to 3rd because there's not going to be 2 teams that are going to be in that lottery.
Here's where you
right?
should feel good. Does the league really want the Lakers not to keep that pick?
The league wants the Lakers to be good.
The league
Am I
wants
right?
the Lakers to be good.
Like they're happy that your Celtics are doing better, right?
Right.
Even though there is a ceiling, and we know that.
There's a ceiling,
Right.
but there's 2 great players in this draft.
Right.
Lonzo and
You
Fultz.
think there's only two?
I think
this is one of those drafts like 2003 or maybe, what was another one, where there are better players than we know yet.
Oh,
Like there's a Dwayne Wade in there who hasn't been identified
There
yet.
might be like 2 Dwayne Wades.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think there's a 4 or 5 in there who's going to be ridiculous that hasn't quite proven himself yet.
Tate and I were just talking about before you got here, like the top 10, the 10th pick might be better than the 3rd pick. I think Lonzo is magic. Not Magic Johnson, but just I think he's like a magical player. I love that guy.
He's got great court vision.
I
think he needs to score more, though. I think he needs to take over games more.
I bet he does. The Kentucky thing is going to be an awesome test for him because
he's got an odd release though in his shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it goes in. It doesn't even touch the rim.
Yeah.
I think the thing I love about him is everybody. Very few guys are like this. Magic was like this. Bird was like this. Where it's contagious how they play.
Yeah.
And you see the teammates start to become unselfish, and they're running the floor and they're waiting to get the ball because they know he's going to give it to them. The feel that he has, I just think he's going to be awesome with better teammates. I think
so, too. Because what he has, it's hard to teach. It's almost like geometry, the way he plays basketball.
Yeah.
Because it's all about, there are certain angles that you are just going to beat people all the time and you understand those angles in basketball.
Right.
Like Chris Paul understands that brilliantly.
Right.
Like he knows how to create distance immediately and create just the right angles to just beat you. And it has nothing to do with speed or quickness. It's all vision. It's having a sense of the whole court. It's really like this incredible game of chess when you understand it, you know.
Yeah.
And Magic and Bird had that better than anybody. Isaiah Thomas had that very well too, you know. But he's got that. If you look at him play, he understands position and distance between players, and he knows how to pass it when a pass isn't open, but you just have that little bit of daylight once the pass starts,
especially
and then
with
the person's
guys.
Completely open once the ball gets there. That takes court vision to understand that timing and that kind of stuff.
The entry passes, I think he's going to be incredible. The Kentucky will be a nice test for him because their guards are really, really good, and their point guard Fox is an excellent defender.
Yes.
And the one rap on Lonzo is well athletically when he gets to the next level and he's going against Westbrook and all these guys every night. Can he hold up athletically? I think he can, but Fox is a nice test, and if he sucks in that Kentucky game, everybody would be like, "Oh, you see, I told you."
I know.
And I think he's so much better than that.
Individual college games.
Yeah, especially he's 18. He's got his dad's doing interviews left and right.
I know.
What do you think of his dad?
Do you like his dad?
I do.
Yeah? You're a big fan of him?
I do. I like crazy parents.
Yeah.
When Richard Williams, like when
I was going to bring him up.
when the sisters got a little afraid of him, it seemed like that wasn't a great place to be in. But
you know, that's also, who's this crazy brother from Compton talking all this in the whitest of white sports, too?
Yes.
Right. And they were Jehovah's Witnesses, so there was a lot that was going on there that a lot of people didn't talk about. Is he going to come knock on our door at the middle of the night? We don't know what's going on here. This Richard Williams. But, you know, the girls were kind of flamboyant, you know, as, well, tennis version of flamboyant, you know, wearing beads in her hair, Venus at that time.
It was an amazing cultural moment.
Yeah.
That you have this sport that's the whitest sport we have other than maybe golf. And a sport that women were supposed to behave all like Chris Evert.
Right.
Even Martina was like, "Oh, she's a man. Get her out of here." Like, everybody's so mean to Martina. It's horrible. Oh, look at the way she talks. Oh, she's got a girlfriend in the box. And people are horrible to her.
Yeah.
But then Serena and Venus show up, and really the attitude for 5 years was, this is terrible. What are we going to do?
And because they were brash, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't behave the right way, but don't behave the right way. I mean, how many times have you heard that?
That's code for urban, code for black.
Yeah, we don't. Oh, look at the way they dress.
Right, exactly.
Their hair. They're going to wear their hair that way?
Yeah, and Earl Woods with Tiger was the same type of thing, you know, saying how he's going to change the game and all
Earl
that.
Woods is right. The
He was
thing
right.
is, like, Earl Woods was right. Richard Williams is right.
I wasn't mad at Earl Woods at all.
All these parents who are this brash are usually know what they have.
Yeah. The difference is this guy is talking about like $1 billion. It's like, he really doesn't give a fuck at all. He's like, no, motherfuckers, we're getting $1 billion.
Yeah.
I'm creating my own brand. Nike, you have to license my brand if you want.
It's really smart.
It's very smart.
It seems illegal, but I looked at it from a bunch of different angles.
It's completely legal.
It's legal, yeah.
Yeah, it's ballsy. He's saying, no, I'm Rockefeller, I'm Carnegie, I'm the brand.
Right.
You know, I'm drinking your milkshake is what I'm doing, not the other way around. You know. That was a There Will Be Blood reference for all of you.
No, I enjoyed it. The baller alert, not having ball in the name, not having Lonzo, but just baller.
Yeah.
Which is kind of generic, and now his son's wearing it when he goes to the games.
Is it BBB? Is that what it is? Is it 3 Bs?
Something like that.
Yeah, 3 Bs. Yeah, it's a great logo too, and it's built for this. Is that what it is? What is their phrase or?
I can't remember. LaVar's up to a lot of stuff. The only thing that's a mistake is saying he could be Jordan.
Oh, that's just
he
crazy
shouldn't have said this stuff about LeBron's kid.
That. Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Like Earl never said Tiger could have beaten Nicholas. He never said some shit like that. You know?
LeBron got mad at him.
Got mad at who?
At
LeBron gets
LaVar
mad
Ball.
at everybody.
He gets salty.
He gets whiny. He's not salty. He's whiny.
Whiny, interesting.
Yes.
I think he turns in. Somebody was calling him Le Sheriff, and turns in Le Sheriff every once in a while. But so LaVar Ball said.
LeBron is, by the way, LeBron is an amazing athlete. He's fantastic, but he is very sensitive.
He is. He's also been in the spotlight and getting picked apart for, 15 years now. Yeah. I think sometimes he's just like, fuck it.
Probably.
He just goes in. But LaVar Ball was saying, like, LeBron's son is going to have an issue because he was like, the difference between LeBron and me is, like, I wasn't a famous basketball player. And my kids didn't have a target.
What does that comparison mean?
Because he's crazy. This is what makes him great. I love LaVar Ball. Well, he's like, here's the difference between me and LeBron. It's like,
LeBron's a world-class athlete.
Yeah. How about what are the similarities?
Yeah, that's the difference.
So LeBron got mad because he's like, don't tell me my son has less of a chance than yours did because I'm a famous player.
On people's
Stay out of my
kids.
family.
That's stupid. Come on.
LeBron's kid is apparently great. I saw some of the YouTube clips.
Who cares?
He's 12. He's a 12-year-old point guard.
That's
LeBron
awesome.
James Jr.
Good luck.
Yeah. It's tough with the junior.
Absolutely.
It certainly has gone the wrong way a lot of times for, with the right ways with Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
But, So you're pro LaVar Ball for the most part because he might be in your life if the Lakers get this pick.
For the most part, I think there is some damage that you can do to a kid that hasn't proven themselves in that stage if you do too much.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, because a lot of what an athlete does, and even entertainers, it's not just how they're performing, but a lot of it is their relationship with the crowd or the audience and the fans. Like Derek Jeter always had a great relationship with the fans regardless of how he played.
Yeah.
He had a great career. But even if Jeter was hitting 230, nobody cared because they still loved Jeter. But if he had a different relationship, like the way A-Rod had, A-Rod could be batting almost 400 and have a bad game and people would be on him,
Yeah.
That's the difference because he had just a different relationship.
It is funny, like A-Rod just was missing that one thing that made the fans want to connect with him.
But now he's fantastic.
And he's very good on TV.
I love this A-Rod.
I agree.
He's really good.
I love media A-Rod.
He's fantastic. He's really good in that role.
He's
no Pete Rose, but
he took some. Yeah, he's no Pete. Pete, we just take day by day, hoping he stays on television.
I can't get enough of Pete Rose. That's the train wreck that it's okay to want to happen.
Yeah,
because most train wrecks, you're an asshole if you want that train to crash.
Right.
But this is a train you want to crash,
especially when it gets late at night and he's a little sleepy.
Yeah.
And he's a little hungry.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like 11:45 at night.
A little hangry.
He's thirsty. He's hungry.
His blood sugar's crashing.
He's angry.
Right. He gets a little dizzy.
Let's take a quick break. Hey, if you've been settling for store-bought underwear 5-packs, I have something that will change your life for the better. My old friend MeUndies. When was the last time you splurged on some great underwear? Come on. It's the first thing you put on every day, the last thing you take off. Why settle for anything less than the best? MeUndies are made out of sustainably sourced micro-modal, a fabric that's 3 times softer than cotton. So they are unbelievably comfortable. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. The top drawer of my dresser is filled with MeUndies, and that's it. It's true because they keep sending them to me. Once you get MeUndies, you never go back. The world's most comfortable underwear. And right now, you can save up to 33% off MeUndies with a monthly subscription. Select your style, size, and plan. MeUndies will send you undies that they think you'll swoon in every month. And if you're not ready for that, you can still save 20% off your first pair plus free shipping by going to MeUndies.com/BS. Once again, MeUndies.com/BS. 20% off first pair plus free shipping. Back to the podcast.
I'm getting a wedgie just thinking about it.
I know. Talking about A-Rod. This guy gave up I think it was like $25 million to try to play for the Red Sox that year. And then the league vetoed the trade and ended up on the Yankees because the players' union was like, you can't go backwards with a contract that sets a bad precedent. They blocked it. It's one of the most magnanimous things an athlete has ever tried to do, where they were literally like, I will give up 8% of my guaranteed salary because I want to win. A-Rod never gets credit for that because we just don't like A-Rod.
How much do you think that would have changed his trajectory in terms of acceptance?
It would have changed the course of baseball history because the Red Sox would have traded Manny Ramirez in the deal. And I can't remember who the other
Which would have been a great trade at that time. A-Rod for Manny?
Manny was awesome, though.
Yeah, but A-Rod had more years. He had more years left than Manny.
Oh, Nomar. So we would have traded Nomar. It was Nomar and Manny. Nomar.
Yeah, Nomar.
Get A-Rod. Then the Orlando Cabrera part of the trade. He was great in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, and then the Yankees don't get A-Rod. It's this whole sliding doors thing.
Yankees never needed A-Rod, though. They never needed him.
No. Well, that was when they were just adding. It was almost
like that's when they were just being winning assholes.
Yeah. They're like, it's like a Dynasty would just add people to the cast in the 80s. We're going to add this actress.
Yeah, they don't rebuild, they reload.
Yeah, I think teams in general are starting to realize that's a bad.
Are you a fan of what happened with the Warriors with KD and all that? That kind of stacking by players?
I'm torn on it because I totally got it from his perspective. I think he had, and we talked about it, he was on my pod last month.
Right.
He had basically a window to go somewhere, right?
Why did he want to leave, though?
I think we're seeing why he wanted to leave. I don't think he wanted to play with Westbrook anymore, and I don't think he wanted to live in Oklahoma City anymore.
Do you think it was about Westbrook more than?
I think it was those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
Westbrook is more of an alpha than he is.
I think he felt like there was a different level of basketball out there, and I think he wanted to live somewhere else. I think he was tired of being in Oklahoma City. I don't think he trusted the franchise that much.
Really?
And so he had his choices were basically go to Golden State, go to Boston, go to who else was in the running?
Were the Knicks ever in the running?
No, Washington should have been. Bradley Beal wasn't playing like he was.
Yeah, Washington should have been. Yeah,
and he didn't. I don't even think he gave them an interview
because he's from DC, right?
Yeah. Oh, San Antonio was the other one. So it was those three, and Boston. I think you go to the East, you really don't have to battle LeBron, but you still have to go through LeBron every year.
That would have been nice, though.
Yeah, and I think
I think that would have been really good for basketball. As much as I hate your Celtics, I think going to the Celtics would have changed that balance in the East in a way that would have been exciting.
It's a more if you're doing it like just for what's the best for the league. Him going to Boston was probably the best.
Would have been the best.
But him going to Golden State was the most exciting, talked about kind of polarizing move.
It doesn't make Golden State more exciting. They're not going to win more games this year than they won last year.
No, but he's the best player in the team, which is kind of funny. They won 73.
Golden State was exciting because they seemed unlikely. That style of basketball, especially with Steph Curry, who's this little finesse type player, who was, the hero of every little kid, in America. That was such a great image for that team, this unlikely player dominating. But with KD there, it changes that chemistry to me. And nothing against KD. I love KD. I think KD is awesome. He is one of my favorite players just for his style. But I would have liked to have seen him on a different team where the chemistry was a little different, I think,
I agree with you. I do think that
I like more balance in the league, I guess.
Yeah, but this is the 80s was like this. There was three or four teams.
There were at least 5 teams in the 80s.
Boston, Lakers, Detroit, and Philly.
Houston.
Houston for 2 years.
Yeah. And then Detroit came a little later.
You guys made the finals like 9 out of 10 years.
We dominated.
Yeah, that's why you like the 80s. But we
dominated those great teams then.
My theory, I wrote about this in the basketball book. My theory was Pat Riley knew the Rockets were coming and just was putting cocaine in their locker rooms. just they're going in the bathrooms like, what's that? Is that cocaine? It's a gift from Uncle Pat.
Putting it in there or forgetting where he left it.
But yeah, the Lakers definitely, you need luck with this stuff too.
Yeah, you do. A lot of it is time.
My guess is the KD thing, the Warriors were going to hit a different level of the Warriors this year anyway, because I think They had such a bullseye on their back the last
And it's
2 years.
inevitable with teams and chemistry.
Yeah, you
and
get
all that.
tired.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry's so famous now, and he's
Yeah.
been like incredibly famous for a year and,
And
a
he's
half.
a bullseye, definitely.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think that wears you down. Everyone's like, "Oh, Steph's not having as much fun there." It's because his fucking life isn't that much fun.
I know, it's tough.
That guy can't go anywhere. He's
Right.
trapped in a hotel suite or
It's
a
another
locker
reason
room.
why LeBron is so great, because with all that scrutiny and everything, his numbers never change.
Right.
He stays
He's a
consistently.
machine.
He's a machine. He stays consistently great.
If Kobe was Terminator 2, I don't know what LeBron is.
Oh, LeBron? Oh, God. Yeah, you have to come up
He's
with
like RoboCop.
Yeah. RoboCop. That's probably good.
I mean, he's going to average 9 assists this year.
Yeah.
No forward has ever done that.
He may be Predator. Yeah. Wait, no forward has ever averaged 9 assists?
No, ever.
Yeah.
He's
My brain is thinking right now.
It was frustrating for me last week as a basketball fan because I thought LeBron secretly wanted to win the MVP this year.
Right.
Because, he gets that.
There's no secret. LeBron wants to win that every year. How's
No,
that a secret?
the reason he was playing 38 minutes, people are like, why is he? I
Mm-hmm.
think because this was his last chance really to win the 5th
Mm-hmm.
MVP. It puts him on another level historically. But
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night when they rested they were like Kyrie's knees tweaked, they got to not play him, and then Love was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game where LeBron should have been like, I'm fucking playing.
Yeah.
And put up the 43, 17, and 15, and everybody would have been like, "Oh, LeBron, should he be the MVP?" He could have single-handedly changed the narrative, and then sit in the next game against the Lakers. You're gonna win that anyway by 20 points.
Exactly.
Sorry,
No, that's true.
but I thought he could have put himself on the map in that game for MVP. Now it's gonna be James Harden. I think it's
so?
unstoppable now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had Westbrook got his butt kicked by Golden State. Same day Harden has this dramatic end of the game win. I think that.
Well, Harden has evolved his game in a good way.
Totally.
And
his beard.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to see that D'Antoni is getting a good chance to show the type of coach that he is, because I think he is a good coach.
Yeah, he was. It's funny, like
When you're a visionary, it's hard to get credit for that.
Yeah, and also like he made 2 decisions that. One was for money. He took the Knicks job just for a money job.
But
he
you
didn't
can't blame somebody for that,
Yeah.
especially after what happened with the, Well, that was before the Lakers, right?
No, the Lakers was the second one.
Right.
But takes the Knicks job.
Right.
They offer him a crazy amount of money, and he's basically like, okay, now let's try to find the right team for me, and they couldn't. Then he gets offered the Lakers job.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, you're going to coach Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard.
I know.
This would be a really fun team to coach, and it was the opposite, and it was terrible for him.
Yeah, but that was after the debacle with Phil Jackson, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now he's on this team that this seems like the right team for him.
Perfect fit. Yeah, I think so.
But I think coaching, it's funny. Like, just some coaches, there's just certain types of style, and that's it. Popovich, I feel like, could coach anybody.
I think so, yeah.
Phil is still trying to...
Because he imposes his own style.
Yeah, and figures out what he has.
Right.
And Belichick's like that, where it's like, what do we have? All right, let's play this way.
Belichick. Oh, God.
Sorry. You're anti-Belichick?
How much time do we have?
But we have a lot. It's a podcast.
No, I'm just anti-cheater. That's all.
Oh, come on.
I got nothing against Belichick. I just don't like cheaters.
What evidence do we have that he cheated?
Okay, how about the Super Bowl against the Rams? In New Orleans,
See, this
where
is
they were
fake news.
filming the practices.
No, they did. They never
the
got.
walkthroughs.
That was proven to be fake
I was
news.
at that game too.
That was
by the
fake
way.
news.
But that was not fake
It
news.
was fake news.
No,
that was a fake story. It was discredited. The paper did a retraction.
No.
See, this is the problem. This is how
No, it's
our
not a
country
problem.
got into the shape
the
it's
truth,
in.
man.
Because
It's
a
truth.
fake story
Embrace
takes
the
hold,
truth.
it goes, and
You
now
know Belichick's a
and now
cheater.
Larry Wilmore believes that they filmed the
Belichick's
thing.
a cheater.
I think he
But
searches for edges.
But he searches for edges. Yes,
Red
the way
Auerbach
you
was
search
like
for
that.
edges on a pair of dice.
Red Auerbach used to break the air conditioning in the Lakers locker room.
Red Auerbach was a famous cheater.
It was like
Everybody
120
knows that.
degrees when the Lakers would play the
completely.
Celtics. Yeah. That's what Belichick does.
There was nothing
He
better
didn't
than
film the
being
practices, though. Did you follow the story about the guy stealing the jersey?
Oh, that's crazy.
Did you see the video?
I love that. Where he put it under his jacket or something?
Yeah, he waltzes in with Belichick and going in the locker room like
That's
he's in the
hilarious.
entourage.
Yeah.
And then just kind of floats around, grabs a thing, and leaves.
I love how the casual, when people do something wrong, that fake casual when they're walking out.
It's kind of, But they're also glancing around a little bit.
Yeah, they're a little nervous.
Oh, there's a camera?
Because there's that window of getting caught there.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome if that person actually gets caught during that window.
It's I mean, we're living in this era right now where security is probably the number one thing on everyone's mind. This guy waltzes into the locker room.
And you know that was thought of before, right? That the person knew they were going to do that.
Get the wrong pass.
Yeah, it wasn't.
There's no guard like, wait, that's the wrong pass. Yes. You can't go in.
It wasn't a theft of passion. Where it's like, no. I'm taking that jersey. Fuck this shit. Right? I mean, he thought that through.
He did it 3 years in a row. He took Von Miller's helmet. It sounds like
crazy.
How do you fit a fucking helmet in your under your coat?
No, this is a tumor. Sorry.
Hey, guys, excuse me. I have like a club arm.
I know.
Yeah, 3 straight years. That was one of my favorite stories. I love that Jay Glazer did this, like, All the President's Men style video breakdown with the 40 Fox cameras, isolating with the FBI.
Right.
Incredible. Just to get Tom Brady's jersey back, because he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He wanted his jersey.
At a certain point, you have to admire his balls, I guess. You know?
L.A. football, Rams, Chargers. Do you care?
No.
Will anyone care?
No. Rams, look, I was a Rams fan growing up. They left me. I didn't leave them. Okay? Now you come back, you know, we'll see.
I love this. I've heard this logic, and it's the best.
Yeah,
we'll see. It's like your wife shows up 20 years later.
We'll see what happens.
I'm back.
All right, let's see how it works out.
Yeah.
We'll see. And nobody cares about the Chargers. I think we had the L.A. Chargers in the 50s or something like that. People don't even remember that. I think there were Chargers
playing in Carson.
Something like that. You know,
they're sharing the field with the LA Galaxy.
The Chargers, they're like it's so sad. You know, well, how did they become homeless so fast?
I don't know.
How did that happen?
They're living in one of the most affluent, beautiful cities in America.
Yes.
And a city that seems like it should have football.
They should, you know.
And now they're going to be in Carson.
Whatever.
Playing in front of 30,000 for
more
2 years.
More people go there to watch tennis and soccer.
And eventually they're going to be the Clippers of the Rams' Lakers. Only nobody loves the Rams.
To Inglewood next?
So I had Ballmer on my pod last week.
I heard that, yeah.
And that guy's a tenant. He doesn't want to be a tenant. He's a multi-billionaire. He's, like on the Oscars night, they have a home game on Sunday night. It's a lot of stuff like that where they just get the shittiest schedule, whatever. They get the third pick between the Lakers and the Kings. The Lakers get all the plum dates. Like the Sunday night dates are usually a great date, not against the Oscars, but usually the Lakers are Sunday nights.
But Ballmer's kind of used to
nights.
that type of thing. I mean, that's the company that gave us the Zoom, you know, so I
should have asked him about that.
Yes.
Giant write-off.
Yes. Thanks, Steve Ballmer. The world couldn't wait for that. We appreciate it.
He was so excited that I had
Why are you so mad at Staples Center? You know?
Yeah. I think he gets involved with Kroenke, and they build an arena right next to the football stadium.
Yeah, but then he's in he's in the shadow of the Rams?
No,
they have their own stadium now.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with the Forum? Is that going to be knocked down, or is that going to...
They just poured all this money into it to make it all... It was
like a church or something for a while, right?
Yeah. A lot of memories of that place, man.
Yes, exactly.
Dr. Buss, a lot of the 80s Lakers.
Yep.
Let's take a quick break. Quick break to talk about Books.com. Have you ever sent flowers online before? Let me tell you something. Not a satisfying experience. You're lured in with a $19.99 advertised price, but somehow when you check out, it's like $94. And then when the flowers arrive, they might be wilted. They probably are wilted, and they're definitely not like the picture. So come on. Those other flower companies are just middlemen. They jack up the price you pay. Luckily, Books.com offers a better way to buy flowers, tulips, roses, lilies, orchids. Why am I saying orchids? I have this weird thing where
No, it's prompter dizziness.
Yeah, where I see the word and I say the word.
No, I understand.
I do that with Kushner, too.
Yeah,
like all
what
these
happens
different
is
things.
the letters overcome the words.
Yeah, they overcome my brain.
Yeah.
Hydrangeans?
Oh, God.
Hydrangeas.
Right, there you go.
And more, delivered to your door for prices starting at just $40. No endless upsells, no hidden fees, no gimmicks. You can even get free delivery on Tuesdays through Fridays. When you register at Books.com, their site is modern and beautiful. Could not be easier to shop there. Whether it's a special occasion or a random surprise, Books flowers make for a perfect gift any time of the year. Right now, my listeners can get 20% off your orders by going to Books.com using offer code BILL. That's BOUQS.com. Offer code HBOBill. And speaking of good offers, on Saturday night, my wife and I were stranded outside the Wilshire Hotel at 1:30 in the morning with no way to get home because we didn't drive because we're having a few pops.
Right.
Thank God for Lyft. With Lyft, you can get a ride in minutes for less than the cost of a cab. Every Lyft driver is fully vetted through their 10-point safety standard, including criminal and DMV background checks. They're rated after every ride. Only the best stick around. You can tip them in the Lyft app.
They have that mustache, right?
With the mustache, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like tipping my drivers. I feel like it's going to make them work a little harder and maybe stay off the cologne a little bit in the car and stuff like that. And tipping, obviously, it's the happier and better drivers. 9 out of 10 Lyft rides get a perfect 5-star rating for the passenger. It's also the fastest growing ride-sharing app and the highest rated one, as well as your buddy whenever you need a ride. People are actually getting rid of their cars and relying on Lyft to get around. I've heard this.
That's crazy.
Right now, Lyft is offering our listeners a special deal. Get 3 free rides for up to $10 each, up to a $30 value. All you have to do is enter the promo code Bill Simmons. That's my name. Download the free Lyft app today and in promo code Bill Simmons in the payment section. 3 free rides, up to $10 each. LYFT. Try it out right now. Back to the podcast. The week we're taping this, Chappelle came back with 2 Netflix shows.
Yes. How about that?
I watched them both.
I haven't seen him yet. I saw him working some of it out last year, I think, for one of them. Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it's important to watch both of them in a row versus like I'll watch one now and watch one 2 days from now. It's a double feature. Yeah, it is. And the LA one is different from the Texas one. The LA one is more traditional. He's more of like, it's like an 11:30 late night performance. I mean, it's not the materialism, but he's just more.
Is it kind of intimate or is it a big crowd?
No, it's more professional.
Okay.
And the Texas one is more loose. He's slinging it.
Right.
And it's just different. And a lot of people like the LA one more. I actually like the Texas one more.
The looser one?
Yeah, it just had a different vibe to it. The LA one's built around like the 4 times he met O.J. Simpson.
Oh, right. I read.
And it just it veers in all these different directions. It's really well done and it's well constructed. Yeah, and the Texas one, it was just out there and crazy.
Yeah, in stand-up, to me, that's different between Tuesday night and Saturday night.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like comics love Tuesday night, and we could care less about Saturday night. But Saturday night is the best night, but we don't care. Because the audience laughs in the places they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You have a great show, all
it's
that.
Your professional audience.
Yeah, and you do 3 shows. It's date night is why you don't care for it, because everybody's polite. Tuesday night, anything can happen. That's your real comedy audience. And that's when you sling stories. That's when you try out material.
Yeah.
That's when fights might break out, all kinds of stuff. So Tuesday night comedy for a comic is much more satisfying than Saturday night. So that's what.
So that Texas one felt like a Tuesday night.
That's Tuesday night.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's why
so
you like it more, because it has that feel.
I like both of them. The Texas one, I was like, wow, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
I felt like I was.
Chappelle is one of the bravest people on stage because he'll go up without a net. Some of it's maybe irresponsible to the people working there because he'll do 9 hours. And just talking, and people are like, we gotta go home, Dave. I got a family. And he's just smoking cigarettes,
like when Bruce Springsteen's coming up for his 9th encore.
Yeah,
like, hey, Bruce, we're good.
Right. But at least Bruce, it's still only 3.5 hours.
True.
It's not 9 hours of Bruce.
9 hours.
I know. It's like, I know you're the boss, but can we please have permission to go home?
That's like us driving from LA to Las Vegas right now. 9 hours. So when you're gone for that long, because it seemed like he had real fear about actually releasing these, and
really,
I think both of them might have been done months and months and months ago, and he was so hesitant to come back in the spotlight. It was a kind of it was its own kind of fascinating.
I think $60 million erases that fear kind of quickly.
Yeah,
just kind of has a way of doing that.
But I mean, you've gone in binges where you're not doing comedy at all, right? And then you're going back
performing, certainly. Right. Yeah.
So what was like the longest stretch where you didn't perform?
Oh wow, yeah. There was one stretch before. I did a Showtime special a couple of years ago. It was for the 2012 election, Larry Wilmore's Race, Religion, and Sex in Utah.
Yeah.
That's when it was going. And I hadn't done stand-up maybe in 10 years, I think. That was a long time. So I had to go up and just do like 2 minutes here and there just to feel what that was like again. And slowly, it took me about 6 months to start feeling good about it, and I started just writing more stand-up comedy jokes, and that kind of stuff. And commenting more stuff, and it didn't take that long to feel good about it again.
I would imagine it's like golf, where you just have to keep doing it, and if you stop doing it for a while, it can come back, but you have to go to the course and really hit, and you got to the practice range, and
got to work in your short game, all your audience responses.
The putting might go
right, exactly.
How fast is it to come back with the ability to ad lib in the moment?
That takes a while. That takes a good couple of months of just being comfortable on stage again, if you've been away for a while. But it doesn't take too long. And all that is just, you know what it is? It's like in sports terms, like if you've been out for a while, you get on the court, you haven't lost any of your ability, but your timing is off. So, like, your pass, for some reason, goes at their leg, or it goes at the wrong time, or you dribble off your leg. You don't know why that stuff is happening, because you're just not relaxed in the moment. Because sports is all about being good enough to just be relaxed, you know, and zen and all that. And stand-up comedy is the ultimate of that. You have to be relaxed enough where it's this, I call it active listening.
Yeah.
So you're kind of doing your act, but you're not conscious of your act at that moment. You're more in the moment of listening to the audience and what's going on.
Because you know the act so well.
You know it so well. The act is playing itself, and you're having a different conversation while that's playing. But if you haven't done it in a while, you can't have that kind of conversation. You're too much in your head about the act, so you can't relax and just interact.
And I think that's something Chappelle is still great at.
Oh,
and he's one of the all-timers.
He's one of the best. Absolutely.
The pace that he has and the patience, and he'll just pause, and nothing will happen for 60. The audience is like, wait a second, is he forgetting his line? But he's not. He's
inventing. And to invent, like, it's one thing to invent out of something the audience says. Like, I loved doing that when I was doing stand-up. Like, they throw something at you, and then you create something new out of that.
Yeah.
But Chappelle, he invents stuff out of silence. Like, there's nothing happening. And then he's coming up with something, and we'll go in a different direction. And that's where he's really brilliant. You know?
He's certainly one of the most confident comedians I've ever seen. He really just trusts the process.
He's so thoughtful, but he's sneaky thoughtful, because you think he's just, you know, he may come off as crass or, you know, lowbrow, but he's that combination of highbrow, lowbrow. You know, Woody Allen was like that a lot. Like, Woody Allen would do dick jokes, but he'd talk about Kierkegaard in the same instance, you know. Where Chappelle, his jokes can sound lowbrow, but he's a philosopher at his heart. So he's a very intellectual comic while he's doing dick jokes sometimes.
Right.
Yes, because it's very well thought through, you know, and he has a philosophy behind it. That's what makes him interesting.
He's going to have the outrage police come after him this week, which is a whole other. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, whatever.
And
the outreach police about what?
There's some gay stuff in there. There's some transgender stuff in there, and people are that'll be, I bet, a narrative that unfolds over these next few days, because
he doesn't care about political correctness. So,
no, I don't. Right. I don't think it's on his radar.
No,
is my guess. So. He's just going to be like, I'm honest. This is how I feel about stuff. If I offend people, I don't care. Which is a really dangerous place to be.
I don't even know if he would say that, would he?
Maybe not.
I don't even know if he'd even make that statement.
He seems both completely self-aware about certain things, and then in other things, like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think he's liberated from having some kind of attachment to showbiz leverage, you know?
Yeah.
Like Bill Burr, he was talking about that.
Yeah, when we did the extra time thing. Yeah, same thing. Just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, where the business sometimes can feel like it has a leverage over you if you don't act right or do something. But when you remove that leverage, you have a different amount of freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think's the best? Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time. Michael Jordan, the best basketball player of all time.
Do you really think that? Do you think Brady's the best of all time?
It's unassailable.
It's unassailable.
Unassailable. 17 years of Brady versus any other quarterback? You're taking the 17 years.
How many people are saying it's the system, though, too?
What system? He is the system.
I thought you were just saying how great Belichick is.
The combo, I think, is great.
I agree. I think they're the best combo ever.
Oh yeah,
arguably
the best QB ever, each separately.
Good combo. I don't know if one is as successful without the other, though.
Yeah. So who's the GOAT for stand-up comedians in your mind, living or dead?
That's a tough one. I mean, it depends on what you like. I mean, for me and the people my generation, Richard Pryor represented that, you know, but a lot of it was because of his honesty.
Yeah.
And when you look.
And fearlessness.
His fearlessness and his raw funny. He was all of those things too, you know, and his sensitivity, all that kind of stuff. And his story, I mean, he grew up in a brothel.
Right.
You know, it was a horrible childhood. And his grandmother was a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, she was not playing around, you know. He suffered abuse, all kinds of things, you know. But he was this childlike angel at heart, you know. I remember one of his exes told the story of the Cosbys coming over for dinner once, and she was describing Cosby as he seemed like the nice guy on stage, but was this asshole in person, and Pryor seemed like this firebrand on stage, but couldn't have been nicer in person.
Right.
I mean, believe me, Pryor he could be a headache as well, and he could be a nightmare also, but usually it was in the creative arena, you know, and that type of thing, you know.
Yeah, it does seem like I agree with you. I don't think there can be a GOAT, but I do
Yeah.
think people own different eras.
Yeah,
He definitely owned his era.
He owned that era.
I think
for
Eddie
sure.
owned his era.
Yeah, but in a different way. Eddie, I don't know if he was the best stand-up in that era, but he certainly was
In the 81, 83 range?
I don't know if I'd call him the greatest stand-up. That was a golden era for stand-up in that time. I mean, there were a lot of people that we just don't talk about. People don't know how great Jay Leno was during that era. You know, Seinfeld was, you know, unknown during that era, but was fantastic.
It was really both of those guys were only really known because of Letterman, which was the irony of how the Letterman thing played out.
Letterman wasn't a great stand-up, but he was a really good stand-up. But Murphy was a brilliant comedy star, I think, more than anything else, you know. And his stand-up specials were very funny, but I don't know if I'd call him, like, that's not on the same level as Pryor. It's just different, you know.
I mean, he did put out the Delirious special and Raw.
I'll give you another example. During that same period, you could argue that Cosby's special was better. His Fatherhood, you know, and the Cosby Show was.
What was the one when he sat on the stool the whole time?
Yeah, I think that was one of them. He did
HBO would show that. Remember when HBO didn't have a lot of content? But they would just show that all the time.
Those are brilliant routines back then, you know. So there was a lot of competition during that era for stand-up comedy.
I'm with you on Cosby. It's so weird to almost like we're not allowed to think about his career anymore because of how horrible all the allegations.
And next time, stop raping so many people.
Yeah. But it's like he really was like the defining comic, and then had the defining sitcom, and now it's just like it's gone. It's been erased.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm sure, I don't know. When he dies, I mean, nobody's gonna be talking about the Cosby Show. It'll be like that's the guy who allegedly raped 54 people or whatever the number is. Yeah. What about Chris Rock?
Definitely brilliant for his period. I don't know who else stands out during the Chris Rock period of just pure stand-up. I'm not sure, you know.
I guess there's different kinds. There's the guys that could, or girls that could, in the smaller rooms were great and revered by the things.
That was during the alternative era too.
Yeah. I think it's really hard to go into Madison Square Garden and just crush it. I don't know how many people could have done that with good material. I mean, there's also like the Dane Cook types that were more like
he was very
Andrew
popular.
Dice Clay, like people that were like by force of personality.
They were kind of movements too.
Yeah.
But Rock stands out as somebody who really had something to say at a time when nobody was saying it, really, you know. So, and it was really, he was a smart, political, brash comic, you know. He was like a combination of, let's say, Pryor and Dick Gregory, you know. If you put those together, you get, you know, that Chris Rock of that era.
Who was the one you were the most jealous of?
I'm not jealous of comics.
Writers get jealous of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I wish I had thought of that angle.
Well, sometimes I say, I wish I had thought of those jokes. You know?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, that whole Chris Rock routine. I mean, there's a war between black people and niggers.
Right.
It's fantastic. It's one of my favorites ever. Yeah, we did that on The Office, in fact, when I was the diversity specialist. And
was that a title?
Oh, it was so much fun. And Steve Carell was doing the Chris Rock routine, and there were so many outtakes where he would just say, and the niggas, and my face is just blank looking at him, and we would laugh. So you'd say cut, and we would just start laughing so hard. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Who's behind the scenes in The Office during that era?
Oh, man. The Office.
I mean, that's like a murderer's row, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many years were you there?
I was there the first 3 seasons, 2.5, I guess, because the first half season, by the way, we thought we were going to get canceled at any moment during that first half season. I mean, Mike Schur, who's done everything. B.J. Novak was on the writing staff and in the cast. Mindy Kaling, writing staff and staff. that whole cast was fantastic.
So do you know behind the scenes, you knew like this is a special group?
Oh yeah, you knew it right away.
Yeah.
Greg Daniels, who ran it, had such a keen eye for talent, you know, and really let people write and perform and that type of thing, you know. And he's got an interesting comic mind himself, Greg. So that was fun.
When did you go to the Daily Show? Or when did you start doing stuff for them?
Daily Show was around 2006. I was in a transition myself because I had started as a stand-up comic and performer and got into television writing and producing because I felt like Hollywood would never find me. I was too specific in my type, you know. I wasn't ghetto, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, what does too specific, not too specific in your type even mean?
Well, I remember Robert Townsend talked about this in Hollywood Shuffle where, you know, that term urban, you know, with the quotation mark, you had to be from the ghetto and that type of stuff, you know. And Hollywood was really kind of putting black comics into one category, that Def Jam category, you know. Whereas when I was a kid, there were many different types of black comics. You know, Bill Cosby was the storyteller. Dick Gregory was a political comic. You had Red Fox, who was the party records type of comic. Kind of.
What was Jimmy Walker?
Jimmy Walker, he was more of a traditional comedy club stand-up.
With great taste in writers.
Yes.
Like, all like the great comics from that era wrote for Jimmy Walker.
Yeah. Well, he was a joke teller type comic.
Yeah.
You know, he really joke. Then you had somebody like Godfrey Cambridge, who was more of a hipster during that time. You know, completely different. You know, Flip Wilson, who was more of a vaudevillian type.
One of my first favorite
slinger.
Celebrities.
Oh, Flip Wilson
The
was
Flip Wilson
fantastic.
show. I was
he
like
was one of
4.
my idols,
I think that was like the first show I loved.
A lot of great writers came out of there too. Yeah.
So it was a really crazy era for people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Who you're like, wow, that person was just a writer for the show. Oh yeah, and like
Steve Martin wrote on the Smothers Brothers.
Jim Brooks, all
and
those
Albert
people.
Brooks.
Yeah, Albert Brooks.
Yeah.
Crazy. So then Daily Show happens.
Daily Show happened when I was in the transition of wanting to perform again.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And that was a great time because Colbert had just left to do his show. Ed Helms was going over to do The Office, and I was from The Office going over to do The Daily Show.
Oh, like a
It's
flip.
like a prisoner exchange program. Yeah. Oliver had just started, like maybe 2 weeks before I did. Asif Manvi had just started. Rob Riggle had just started. So Daily Show was making a lot of different moves at that point. It was very exciting, actually.
Is it weird that you and I mean, it is weird that you and Stewart both basically are sitting out this
Oh, it's crazy.
this whole
Well, John's been doing his appearances on Colbert. I've
once
noticed.
a month or so, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's one of the exec producers actually on that show too.
He dips his foot
You
in
know,
every once in a while.
Exactly.
But when did your show? When did it go away?
Last August. Yeah.
And who knew that?
Exactly. No, it kills me every day when I see all the things that are happening. Kills me.
We've been a
die
lot to
inside.
discuss.
Worse than the Lakers.
Would have been a lot to discuss. Although now it's like it's getting so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the like. If Stewart was on, I actually think he would have an amazing amount of
well, John
sway
he
night to
definitely
night
has
now.
his own take on stuff, and he's a big media critic as well. But I honestly believe, there's a theory about multiverses out there. I think we're in one of those multiverses right now. Like, I don't think this really happened. It's just a multiverse.
Oh, like,
yeah.
what
with
is
Trump
the thing
getting
that
elected,
the famous thing? What's this called? That it has a name. This thing where you think something's happening, but it's not happening. You're actually in an alternate universe. I can't remember. There's like a
that's what the
term for
multiverse
it.
is.
Yeah.
Where there are different versions of reality, and this is one of those versions. I don't think it is the version though. I think it's one of the alternate versions.
So like we're on a Blu-ray right now.
Yeah,
and somebody pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever heard of missing time? Like when like you're walking somewhere and then you go, wait, how did I get here? Like you missed like maybe 20 seconds or something like that. And in that 20 seconds, all kinds of shit could have happened.
Right.
And who knows, there was like a glitch in the universe or something like that. Like that's where the multiverse can switch up and suddenly you're in a different reality. All this is true, by the way.
Would your show be different, the same? Like, would you have
I think every
tinkered with it
show
at all?
evolves. It's hard to say, I mean, we would definitely not be running out of things to do. That's for sure. You know? It's hard to predict what you're going to do, but but I miss it and the people there and all that kind of stuff, and still trying to figure out ways to weigh in. I was on Bill Maher's show a few weeks ago.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
They made some news.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Bad. Did the alt-right come after you at all?
No, not at all. They actually went after Milo Yiannopoulos.
Okay. That's good for you.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit.
It's a good go after that guy and stay away from me.
I mean, that's why I was sitting there, and he's like saying, you need guests that don't have such low IQs, and I'm so stupid. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a grown-ass man. You're just going to say some shit like that to me when I'm sitting here? What do you think this is exactly? Right? I mean, come on, Bill.
So
I mean, that wasn't even a political point at that time.
Right.
It's like, motherfucker, who are you talking to? I'm sitting right here. You think you could just say this to another human being and I'm not going to reply? It went beyond politics.
He thought he was like typing it on a message board and not actually saying it to your face.
Yeah, this isn't Breitbart, motherfucker.
Yeah, we're not on a message board. So you created Blackish.
No, I did not create Blackish. No. Kenya Barris created Blackish, and I was there.
You shepherded Blackish.
Yes, I was there helping to produce the pilot and the first few episodes. I co-created Insecure, which is on HBO.
Yeah.
With Issa Rae.
And now you're going to create some other stuff.
Working on a spin-off of Blackish, a college show with Yara Shahidi, the girl.
We should say she's the oldest daughter.
She is the oldest daughter, right? And she's very talented, and that's going to be a lot of fun, kind of a college show. And so, working on something with Rob Riggle right now, too. A multicam over at ABC, so that's fun.
So a college show.
Yeah.
With a black freshman who's a girl. It's going to get compared to A Different World.
Possibly, but it's
not going to be A Different World because that was 30 years ago.
Correct. Right. Yeah.
I think there should be more college shows.
You think so?
Just in general, yeah. The two things that aren't on TV that I never understand are that, most people went to college and can relate to some sort of variation of some college story. And then I always thought like grad school, law school, medical school.
Yeah.
Those whole worlds I'm always fascinated by too. And yet you turn on NBC and there's an entire night of Chicago shows.
Yeah.
There's Chicago law. No, Chicago. If there's a law, there's a medical.
Yeah.
There's a fire.
PD.
And a police.
Right.
And there's one night where all three of them are on, and it's just Chicago, on your cable guy, it's just Chicago for 3 hours. I mean, Tommy fucking loves it because he's from Chicago.
Right. My family's from Evanston, so there you go.
But there's 4 Chicago shows.
Yeah.
But we can't have one college show? I'm glad you're doing this.
What, do you want more Boston shows?
Nah, Boston's too polarizing. Chicago's the middle of America.
Oh, Chicago's not polarizing at all.
Chicago's right between the West Coast and the East Coast. It's a little more middle America. Yeah. I think that's why they do it.
Well, you'll always have cop shows. Cop shows will always be on television because there's always
think
conflict.
About it, man. It's been since the Mod Squad in the 70s.
Yeah, but what's the conflict in grad school? Oh, I hope I get my thesis done on time. I've got 2 years to get this done. What's going to happen? Dun, dun, dun.
Grad school. All right, I'm going to answer that question. Competition.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the difference between grad school and college? It's the same thing. They're away somewhere being competitive, and they're in this. They're friends.
Yeah, but you haven't had your dreams crushed yet when you first start college. You're still kind of innocent.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, looking at the world a certain way. You're so more specific in grad school, I think.
Post college, there could be like a student loan show. Yeah, there's just you're paying back your student loans. That's the whole show.
We should do that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
It's 10% interest.
This is how shows get created. Pay that shit back would be the name of it. Yeah. Tonight on Pay That Shit Back. Or it's called Get in Line, bitches.
So you go to these meetings.
Which meetings are you talking about?
I don't know.
Now?
When you go pitch these shows.
Okay. Now you're asking, how does it work?
No, because I know how it works, but I want to go through it.
Okay.
So you go in, do you go with one hard idea, or do you have...
You mean in general?
Yeah. Do you have the one good idea, and then the 2 in the back pocket that you throw out in case you don't like the way they respond?
We don't like it. Wait, I got some others. Sweet.
Grad school.
Don't leave yet.
So I'm fascinated by grad school.
Grad school, bam.
What's the process?
It's different for every situation. Usually when you're pitching something, it's a very formal process. You set up a meeting, you're going in with a certain idea, and usually they've kind of heard about it already.
Yeah.
And you make a formal pitch. I've done informal pitching over the years and that type of thing, which is more of a kind of an interesting thing where you just kind of informally, like you're already in a relationship with the studio or network or that kind of thing. Back when I was at NBC, before I did The Office, Kevin Riley had just taken over, and I was running Whoopi Goldberg's show at the time in New York. She had a show on NBC. It was kind of a political show, actually. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And she was like running a hotel or something. We did a lot of terrorist jokes. It was after 9/11, that kind of stuff. But it was fun. It was actually a lot of fun. And we went out to dinner, and he was saying, I had mentioned that I was working on an idea, and he said, but I wanted to really kind of form it and work it out before I went in and pitch. And he said, oh, what is this idea you've been thinking? I said, well, I'm not really ready to pitch it. He said, oh, well, just tell me. You don't have to pitch it. Just give me a little bit. I said, well, okay. And I just told him like the one line. He goes, sold. And I go, really? Wow, that's great, you know. And ended up making a pilot just from that one meeting. So that wasn't a formal pitch.
They always say if you can describe the show in one sentence, it has a better chance.
I believe that completely. In fact, I work with writers and that kind of stuff too, and I always try to get them to describe their show in a sentence or two and tell me what it's about. And I think the more you can do that, the more clarity you have about that, the easier it is not only to write it, but to tell other people what it is.
So what's Insecure in one sentence?
A woman that isn't quite sure who she is or where she's going, you know, and she's at, you know, that point in her life. That's where we started from and wrote the show out of that. Bernie Mac's show was children are terrorists. I don't negotiate with terrorists. You know, it was really that simple. And that idea is in the DNA of every scene of the Bernie Mac show. Like, there are terrorists committing terrorist acts right now, but I am not negotiating with them. My job is to end the terrorism. Yes, yes, that's exactly right. And that's what that show is about. You know, so if anytime you can find that, then you know you have something at least compelling to write stories about, you know. In Blackish, some of it was, my kids aren't black. You know? Yeah. You know, that's not the black that I know. It was in that arena, you know, and that was compelling, you know, because it's like their story is not my story. And you can write stories about that. It becomes universal. Every parent can relate to their child having a different story than they now have, you know.
I was amazed that my kids found Blackish on Hulu. Yeah. Started watching it and kept watching it compared to all the crap that they watch. Yeah. And I was like so happy. I was like, oh, this is actually a good show that you'll get to learn things from and characters that, you know, versus like the Disney Channel shows where it's like, my nanny is also an alien and, you know, all these stupid things that they watch.
You know, Kenya and the crew over there, man, what's special about that show to me, there's the content of it with some of the social issues and stuff, but it's an amazing cast. Yeah. I mean, Tracee Ellis Ross, to me, was hiding in plain sight, you know, where a lot of the business did not see how brilliant she was, you know.
And Anthony had everybody knew, but he just hadn't found the right show. It was one of those.
And Anthony is so talented. He's able to do both drama and comedy. He did this Turn on the Shield where he played this drug dealer. Oh, my God. I mean, I was scared just looking at him there. And Anthony, he's so talented. He's just very, very funny, too. And them as the co-leads are such a winning combination. And you just start adding people to that. And you get to have Lawrence Fishburne on your sitcom. You have Morpheus. Morpheus is on your sitcom, for God's sakes.
Did you know he was the number one choice for the Sam Jackson role in Pulp Fiction?
No, I didn't know.
There was this sheet that came out about, it was Tarantino's wish list for the parts. Right. And it was Fishburne for the Sam Jackson part. And I was like, wow, it's a good movie, What If? Yeah. What's that movie like with Fishburne in that, 1994 Fishburne in that role? I still think it's hard to think of anyone else than Sam Jackson
so
that kind of belongs to him.
And their chemistry, he and Travolta had an amazing amount of chemistry in
Travolta, it's its own podcast.
Oh, have you ever had him on?
No, I would love to. I would love to just go through his movies.
Travolta. That'd be fun.
He's
an interesting guy.
My experience with Travolta dates basically my entire life because he was Vinnie Barbarino. Right. And he was the boy in the plastic bubble in the TV movie.
I know, that's right, yes.
Couldn't get out of the bubble.
Yes, that's right.
He sang, and then he was at Saturday Night Fever, and then all of a sudden he became the most famous person in America. Yeah. Then he tailed off, and then he came back. Yeah. Then he made a bunch of bad action movies that I love. Know. Broken Arrow and Con Air.
I have a theory about stars, though. I think if you've been a star, as opposed to just a good actor, but if you've been a star, I think there's something about that quality that can always be reignited at some point because there's just because there's just something about it that is just mysterious, you know. But it just takes the right thing. But I think a star never loses that.
I think that was Tarantino's logic with Travolta. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember him talking about that in the mid-90s, just like guy was one of the biggest stars of my life, and I just felt like it couldn't be gone.
Yeah.
It can be gone if there's drugs. Like I think Richard Pryor is an example.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
By 82, 83, Richard Pryor was
that was sad. But he also had MS, and that was taking its toll. Yeah.
Cocaine.
I know.
Cocaine from 77 to 80. Yeah, this is. No, the sad part is we're going to end it with. Do you want to talk? Can we talk about the country for 2 minutes?
Sure. Anything.
Anything that, as you watch this, we're what at like day 60? What's your biggest fear right now?
Well, my biggest fear is that we have someone leading the country that is, to me, making an assault on just the truth. You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is the casual lying that it creates this exhaustive type of fact checking that people become uninterested in. And, you know, to not have the confidence in our leader that we can even suspend our disbelief that they'd be telling the truth, you know, and just to have that wiped away and just to not be able to put your faith in somebody, whether you agree with them or not, you know, is just a sad point to me. It's just sad, you know. And that's not, and I agree, and that's not even number one for me. Yeah. The just overall security. Yeah. And you read about, oh, things are really deteriorating fast with North Korea. It's like, well, that seems awful. Yeah. You know, and it's the foreign policy stuff that scares me the most. It scares me the most too, because I said that when he was running, I said he's an existential threat to the United States of America, but I've amended that, and I believe he's an existential threat to the safety and security of the free world. It's starting just his comments about NATO. Look at the way he treated Merkel. Yeah. Do we have a more important ally in Europe than Germany right now? Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, the carelessness and the thoughtlessness. I mean, when you look at somebody like a Lindsey Graham, who is very thoughtful, you know, and is very intelligent, and you could just see his disdain for Trumpism as he's talking, and he's trying to be a loyal member of his party and everything. And it's like, I wish we would get more people like that too, on the same side. It's not going to take the opposition. God bless the resistance and all that, but it's going to take people, honorable people on that side of the aisle, to call a spade and to call this out. Also, when you look like a complete mess from the outside, that makes you vulnerable. Because now these other, if you're a country that's like, man, this could be the time for us to make a move. And all the when you see the people who try to defend him, like Sean Spicer, like he's playing a game of Twister all the time. You know? It's so sad. And they just get reduced to nothing. After a while, he's just going to be kicked to the curb, and he's going to be worthless in any arena because he'll have lost all credibility. And by that time, the administration won't even care. You know, he'll be on Chris Christie's sports radio show. Yes, and they don't even care about Francesa. They don't even care about Christie anymore. He's just gone, right? I always think a good rule with this stuff is, it's the old Reagan question of, is your life better than it was 4 years ago, which is how he won in 1980. But the cousin of that is, do you feel safer than you did 3 months ago? I don't care what side you're on. There's no way anyone feels safer right now than they did 3 months ago. I don't feel safe with the country in his hands. Look, at least Ronald Reagan, he had run a state. He had an ideology that you could agree with or disagree with. Yeah. But his governing was built on that ideology. That's what he ran on. You know, Trump's ideology is being a narcissistic sociopath. I mean, that's all it is. It's Trumpism. I don't think it has anything to do with governing or America or anything. That's my personal belief. It was very strange to see how obsessed he was with the voter fraud angle during a time when he's putting together his cabinet, what his first 100 days are going to look like. Right. And he's still worried about people thinking that, you know, the election, it's like, why do you care? You won. Right. Put your cabinet together. Yeah, run the country. It's like trying to reason with the hoarder, you know, when you're talking with Trump. It's the same mentality. They won't throw anything out. They don't understand. They have this illogical connection to trash, you know. If I gave you over or under 2019, he's still the president, would you go over or under? What does over and under mean in that context? Over means he's still out of office. God, that's a tough one, man, because the people who support him kind of do it blindly, it seems like, you know. But we'll see what happens with the healthcare right now. That may make the difference. I mean, people forget it was healthcare and the economy that caused that big swing in the 2010 election more than anything else. And the economy was still recovering at that point, you know. Even though the economy is doing well, if a lot of people are losing their healthcare and those people that supported him, that can make a big difference. But the only problem is I don't know who's on deck for the opposing party. Answer, nobody.
They're like the Lakers.
I know.
It's like
it comes back around to the Lakers. They are, but the problem is there's nobody in the draft, though. That's the problem.
I think Jordan Clarkson could be a starter. It's like now he's settled down.
No, he cannot. We agree on that.
Yeah.
He's a good role player. I ain't mad at Clarkson. Clarkson and Nance, I think, are good Lakers to come off the bench on a good Laker team.
I thought the Russell pick and the Ingram pick that's fine. Maybe you'd take Porzingis over Russell if you did it over again. Ingram, the draft wasn't that great.
Yeah,
it's just weird that they don't have a guaranteed All-Star yet.
No.
Go through the roster, it's like, oh, that guy's 100%. I bet my life that guy's gonna be an All-Star team barring injury. You wouldn't pick anyone.
Julius Randle Ingram is what I call him. You never know what's gonna happen with them. Just random, you know.
It's tough to break your leg in your first NBA game.
I'm not mad at you. He's not a bad player.
It's a bad omen.
He's just kind of reckless. Yeah, it was almost a Clippers thing that was happening.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
It's amazing he wasn't on the Clippers when it happened.
I know, he should have been. But how about Sean Livingston? That happened to him, and I'm so happy for his career right now.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a good story.
It was like his knee, it exploded.
I know.
It was the worst knee injury that's ever happened.
Is it?
Pretty much.
And to come back from, right?
He almost had to have his leg amputated, so that's got to be... Like when your arteries are basically in trouble, that's a bad injury.
Right.
Yeah, he tore every knee ligament.
What's the worst injury to end a career, do you think?
I mean, probably the guys who get like paralyzed.
But yeah, that's true. I mean,
I would not kind of knows.
Outside of complete paralysis
outside of that,
I guess it's someone dying in a boxing ring, Larry. Would be the worst injury. I think one of the most fucked up ones was the Bo Jackson one.
Oh,
because it was so hard to understand how it happened, you know, and it was the weirdest type of dilemma, you know, where blood wasn't getting to a certain part of his hip.
And it was also like it was an injury that only could have happened to him because anyone else gets the hit and just falls over, but he was superhuman, so his legs kind of still going because he's not a real.
And it took away this unstoppable force for all of us too.
That's one of my saddest ones.
That's one of the saddest ones. Yeah,
Doc Gooden's way up there for me too.
Well, Doc Gooden's injury?
No, just that. Doc Gooden, the cocaine.
He had more of a fall.
That's what I mean. I'm just talking about guys who should have been better than they were.
Yeah.
Bo's way up there, but Doc is like, I just feel like Doc Gooden should have won 500 games.
Yeah.
Would have been awesome. There's been a lot of basketball guys too, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Now it seems like all the basketball guys have their shit together. I think they do a nice job of prepping them when they get in the league. I think the older guys take care of the younger guys. I think they're smarter about having good people around them. Yeah. They don't make it too much money right away, so they don't lose their minds like the guys in the 90s. And it just seems like, and also really seems like an unusually aware, smart group of guys. Like you compare them to the other sports, and it's like, I think basketball has the smartest guys. That certainly wasn't the case always, but now I think like.
Well, they have the most leverage, I think.
That helps
because of the CBA and because the basketball players more, I'm trying to think of the other sports right now, arguably more than any other sport, an individual can turn a game in a bigger way than any other sport, game after game.
Yes.
You know, you have a pitcher in baseball can do it, but he's playing once every 4 or 5 games, you know.
And it's the most marketable, too.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
The NBA is such a naked sport. The guys are just there. They're in their little sleeveless jerseys and their shorts, and they're on TV, close-ups constantly. And
should we bring the short shorts back?
We should not. We should not. Maybe Lonzo Ball. That'll be one of his gimmicks for the Triple B.
If he started wearing short shorts, would other people start doing it?
LaVar Ball's like, we bringing short shorts back. It's $1 billion industry.
That would be awesome. I would love to see that.
Larry Wilmore, a pleasure as always.
Billy.
Great to see you.
My pleasure, man.
I look forward to checking in with you after the lottery.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I love that you just assume that you get the top 3 pick is my favorite part of this podcast.
It doesn't make me happy. I'm not a person I don't want to get those picks the way that we're getting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Larry Wilmore, thank you.
It's all right. I like winning.
Thank you. Thanks to SeatGeek. Thanks to MeUndies. Thanks to Lyft. Thanks to Books.com. Thanks to No Man's Land by David Baldacci. Thanks to Pearl Jam. And thanks to Larry Wilmore. Back on Friday with one more BS podcast.